The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 welcomes you to Meridian's favorite TV personalities and three-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
And just like that, it's 7 o'clock again. Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Debbie.
Whoops.
And it is Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
It is a sweetheart's day.
I know. Voice is still a little rough. I know it's rough. I know I sound like a man.
But it's getting there. Yesterday, it kind of warmed up and got a little bit better before the end of the show.
I need to spend a little more time fixing that hair, Scotty Ray.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but since you did.
Hey, I want to say a big thank you to my husband who left me a really nice Valentine for me this morning. Of course, he wasn't awake yet, but he left me a really sweet Valentine.
Go ahead and ruin it for the rest of us.
40 years he's been my Valentine. 40 years.
That man deserves something in the Hollywood
I hope you got
Walk
your
of
wife
Fame.
something sweet.
Absolutely nothing. I haven't been anywhere to get anything.
I mean, it's called get in your car and go.
Yeah,
you haven't been anywhere?
No. Well, I did go to a FBI raid yesterday, and they didn't seem to have any Valentine's
So was
stuff.
it a raid?
Well, I wouldn't call it necessarily a raid. It was a search warrant being served. And let me just ask you about this, because
Okay.
I went over to I kept about the 290th message that I got of, hey, what's going on in Marion? I decided, well, I should go get in the car and go see what's going on in Marion, because I'd called the police chief and he was busy, tied up, and
Yeah.
I didn't get an answer. So I drive over, I get out, and I say, hey, how you doing? And she goes, hi, what can I do for you? And I said, I'm Scotty Ray, and I want to know what was going on. She goes, well, who are you? And I said, well, I kind of do headlines. And she goes, you got any identification? I said, well, yeah. So I gave her one of my business cards, and so she gave me the information and told me that I could not take any pictures of any agents whatsoever. I said, okay. So I come over and I said, Angie, I said, that was the weirdest thing. I said, I went over and I said, I have never been asked for identification on anything I ever went on. And Angie looked at me and she goes, have you looked in the mirror? And I said, no. I got up to go, and my ball cap was at the end of the hallway on the coat rack, so I grabbed it instead of a cowboy hat. And after Angie said that, I walked in, I looked in the mirror, and I had my shirt inside outward. I was...
You weren't representing very well, were you?
No. So now I know why the FBI agent said that. And speaking of that, let's just go ahead and pull up some pictures from Marion. If you were wondering what was going on yesterday, and again, remember, no one has done anything wrong with this. FBI agents serve warrants, and we don't know what they're after until later. But this was the scene in Marion yesterday. As you can see, cars everywhere. They even brought their own little cute tote truck with every type of instrument that you can imagine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it has drawers.
Is that
everywhere.
like a big surveillance thing?
It's
What
just
is that?
loaded with drawers and all types of supplies that they might need. And as you look at the different pictures here, this is it. It's just
Get it?
rack
Can
full.
you can't make it bigger?
No, I can't make that one bigger. I don't think I can.
Is that where the laundromat is?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
right there. And then as you look at this.
What all's in that? It's
Well,
like a MacGyver truck.
And on the other side, they had Chick-fil-A for days.
I saw the comments. It seems like the story was really lost in the fact that there was Chick-fil-A sitting on the table.
We now
gotta
know
eat, right?
Yeah, they got to eat, and they was really enjoying that. Real nice folks. Now, again, no one's done anything wrong. They often serve search warrants for who knows what. And she wouldn't tell me absolutely nada. I said, well, it's nice meeting you, too. I'll see you on the next one.
I think somebody's trying to make a dating service out of your
Who's getting married?
Facebook feed. Look,
Good morning. Have a blessed day. Greg, happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
well, wait a minute.
We got something better?
Well, wait a minute. To you and more to the point, I like friendship, and if you're willing to share ideas, kindly message me. What do you think?
Where's that one at?
You're reading it. You've got the pointer right on it. Go down.
Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. Much love and blessings to everyone. I like friendship. Uh-oh. What was that song?
And if you're willing to share any ideas, just kindly message me.
What was it? If you're into midnight and
If you like pina coladas.
Isn't that what that is?
And something.
Go, Greg.
No.
Also, Joy says that she married her sweetheart Valentine 33 years ago today. He asked her to marry her.
Oh,
Isn't that
that's nice.
sweet?
Congratulations, 33 years. So you were engaged, I
Yep.
guess, on Valentine's
Got
Day.
asked to marry 33 years ago.
Nice. Good morning and happy Valentine's Day to y'all. That's Dot. I'm sorry, my voice is cracking pretty bad.
Yeah, you did
I
post.
posted a question on, and if somebody would like to comment, please do. I see that nobody has commented. But I have a female friend that started dating somebody. I mean, she's in her 40s and started dating somebody a month ago.
Okay.
And the pressure of dating somebody that not that long before Valentine's Day, it has some kind of pressure to it.
Does it?
I would think so because, I mean, I wasn't really put in that position, but just think about it. Do you get them something? You don't want them to think that you're like wanting to marry them or what? I don't know. So anyway, she asked me, she said, do you think I should get him something? I said, no. Well, anyway, he got her a rose and an invite to dinner. And now she's wondering, should she get him a little something for Valentine's?
Do you want me to answer this?
Yes.
Absolutely not. A woman does not get a man anything for Valentine's Day. He doesn't expect it. He expects a date and a kiss, and that's about it. That's the best a man can hope for
So
in life.
a guy never really wants like,
No, he doesn't want
It's a
rose
girl's
petals.
day. It's the girl's day.
all about women. A man he doesn't need it
okay, there you go.
unless it's like this story that I'm going to show you.
Oh, some people are celebrating Single Awareness Day. I get you. I understand.
Single Awareness Day.
Well, it looks like we've got a little dating situation going on our Facebook comment feed. What do you call that? On our
Single Awareness
post.
Day. That's pretty neat.
Hey, can I say, Maddie? Oh, you can't really
Yes.
see it.
There it is.
Happy Valentine's Day from Maddie. She made this for Scotty Ray. Oh,
That was so sweet of her. This is David
Isn't that
Sharp's granddaughter, and look at this, Debbie. She made cookies and brought these to the studio yesterday afternoon. Look at this.
that. Do I get to share?
Yes, it's
Maddie didn't. This is not Debbie's Valentine.
That's all Scotty Ray's.
To Scotty Ray. But I'm glad you said you could share because I already
Debbie's already in the
They're
dimple. It's good stuff, and thank you very much for thinking of me. That was so kind of her to do that.
really is.
Earlier this morning, somewhere around 5:30 o'clock or so, somebody was laying in their bed around 14th Avenue, and they couldn't help but notice, somebody was trying to climb through their window. So they promptly picked up the telephone and called the Popo in Meridian, and, the chase was on as the boyfriend realized that this guy wasn't supposed to be climbing in the window. So he jumped out the window and commenced to chasing him right down 14th Avenue right there. That's real close to Magnolia Cemetery is where that happened earlier this morning in that neighborhood. Now, no one was hurt, nothing was taken, but how would you like to wake up with somebody trying to climb through your window?
That's
Just
terrifying.
doesn't set well.
Mike and I had somebody when we lived in Memphis. I think it was in Memphis. Yeah, it was in Memphis. We lived in an apartment complex. This was 100 years ago. And we woke up and found that we were missing money and stuff. That's back before you had a lot of credit cards and you always carried your cash.
You're right.
And we were missing a lot of money. And we found out somebody had broken into our apartment, came in our bedroom, stolen the money. I think stole my billfold, stole his, and left. And
While you were asleep?
While we were asleep. Never knew it.
Boy, I bet y'all were
And
snoring
not only
some kind
did
of loud.
we get broken into, a lot of neighbors were walking around going, somebody broke into our apartment last night.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
And they were so quiet that we didn't know.
I don't know if
Yeah.
It's one thing to be woken up, but for somebody to have entered your home and you never knew they were there and they watched you sleep. Ooh.
Look, wait a
What's
minute.
that?
I'm sorry. Here you go. Doug Etheridge says, always open a door for a woman.
Absolutely, I agree.
Always. There we go. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to get that
Oh,
one out
that's
there.
okay.
Just a reminder to everybody.
Yeah, it is kind of important there.
Hey, Tomcat.
Tomcat. All right, we'll be right back. We'll tell you about the big thing that happened in Meridian yesterday. Someone's home somebody was robbed yesterday. We'll tell you all about that next here in just a moment with Scotty Ray and Debbie. Good morning to you. Jackson Flowers has been a part of the Meridian area for a little over 60 years now. Now, they've moved to a new location on Highway 19 North, just 2 miles north of Walmart. Maybe you're looking for that perfect Valentine gift, a dozen red roses. Maybe it's just a happy you need, live or artificial. No matter what the need is in your family, whether it's a birth to your time of need, Jackson Flowers is there for you. Drop in and visit with them again, Highway 19 North, just 2 miles north of Walmart. Jackson Flowers, for all your needs.
If it is time for another car or truck for your family, see our friends at Interstate Auto. They're located on North Frontage Road in Meridian, just down from IHOP. They offer bank rate financing. All applications are accepted with over 14 years in business, and they offer you a fair price. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. and Saturday 9 until 2. Appointments available after hours as well. Remember, all roads lead to Interstate Auto, 802 North Frontage Road, Meridian, 601-483-6977.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. And good morning. It's Valentine's Day with Scotty Ray and Debbie, February the 14th.
Okay, so one, we found out it's National Single Awareness Day, right? Singles Awareness Day. It's also Happy National Organ Donors Day. So if you're not an organ donor, make sure you do that if you choose to. And then also, Sandra, I love this. My 10-year-old grandson, Cooper, just bought his first Valentine's stuffed animal and candy. He bought it for a little girl. She just wants us to pray that she is nice to him and not mean and doesn't break his heart with his very first Valentine.
Let's hope not.
Do you remember giving your very first Valentine?
Give me an hour to think on that.
I can remember being into it, like in first grade, second grade, third grade.
Well, we were getting those little candy hearts with the sayings on them back then.
Yeah, back then you do, like, Be My Valentine. But I would study them and, like, make sure the right person got the right Valentine. Like, if there was some boy I liked, I made sure that he got the,
Yeah, of what was said.
That was some serious business to me back then. This was your one shot.
Do you remember what those little hearts, what the sayings were on them? Do you remember?
Be mine. What were some of the sayings?
It's just been so long
since
Be
Mine was on there. Be My Valentine. I don't know. They always had some cute little sayings.
Ooh, I'm aware that I'm married, Scott says.
Oh, wait a minute. Is Scott the one that was celebrating Singles Awareness Day? Scott.
Ooh. As we go to some of the headlines, and this was one of the big stories that shaped Meridian yesterday. An elderly man was robbed in his home yesterday. As we pull this story up of where this happened yesterday, this would happen on the 49th Avenue block. This would be directly up from where Mitchell Distributing is, a couple of blocks from there, the 200 block of there. An elderly man was at home. Someone entered his house and robbed him of his money. The man was wearing a mask. Now, as we break this down, and I've spoke to several of the neighbors that text me after this man was in a wheelchair, and he kept his front door open because it was a lot easier for him being in a wheelchair to have the door open where he didn't have to go up and turn the lock, and the person walked in the house and took his money, demanded his money. Now, he was not hurt. He called police. They've taken a report, and we do hope that the person or persons involved in that is caught. But does this happen? Probably a lot more than we know. There are instances where stuff like this is not even reported. Thank goodness this one was. It's a notation now.
This person should be charged with elderly abuse.
Yes.
Endangering an elderly there should be so many charges against this person. And you did reach out to
Shanetta Stevens with the Meridian Police Department. Maybe we'll get some more on this, some more insight. What I've got now is the initial report and what the neighbors are telling us went on with this. And scary.
Do they have a good description?
Mask. It was a black gentleman wearing a mask over his face.
His entire.
He has no idea what the man really looked like, even if he had a mustache or anything. So we do hope that the man is brought to justice, but we have to be honest with each other on this. There's not much to go on for police. Let's just be honest about that. Without a security camera and going, this is that person. So
keep your doors locked. I miss those days when you didn't really worry about it. Maybe we were stupid to not worry about it, but
it didn't seem to have those types of that bad years ago. And I did make a mistake last week, and I need to bring this out. We missed a news story Last Friday you were sick and I got caught up in everything, but last Thursday night into Friday morning there was someone injured in Meridian with an ice pick.
Stabbed
with an ice pick.
Yeah.
So that was a story that happened last week that I didn't cover that I needed to go back and touch on.
It was a female.
Yes.
That was stabbed with an ice pick. Correct.
Correct. And it is most likely one of those domestic disturbances of some sort, but it did happen. Just don't have one of those on Valentine's Day. It's not good.
No.
You know, we've got one, but you know, how often do you really use one of those? Thanksgiving when you're trying to break up the ice or throw it on the floor?
I think of an ice pick as like it's big,
it's like a shank. You know, it's that's what we've got that we jab up the ice with, and that looks like that would hurt. Extremely bad.
My jabbing up ice is taking the bag and slinging it on the concrete.
It works.
And then if it forms back up again, it stays like that forever. I don't have an ice pick that I know of.
So, but that's one of the biggest stories that went on in the neighborhood yesterday. Now, we had tons and tons of these throughout the area yesterday, of these fender benders that happened on Highway 39 North. No one was seriously hurt yesterday, but we did have several of these little accidents scattered across town. At 24th Avenue, we had another one of these here. Boom, it happens just like that. Yeah. But again, nobody was seriously hurt, and thank goodness for that. As 22nd Avenue, another one happened there also. So just
somebody
keeping
said
you up
they
to date.
use their ice pick for planting seeds. I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
There you go. It worked there.
That seed.
So not a lot of comments on your friend there.
Nobody cares.
So
I'm sorry, friend. I can't say her name. I'm sorry, friend. You're just on your own. I told her. I told her no. I said, don't get him anything. But then that was before we knew he was getting her something. And then it made it like, yeah.
Men just truly do not expect anything. It's just not a day for men. It is a day especially set aside for ladies to make them feel special and wonderful and all of that good stuff. And to show off that you got roses and the person you work with didn't.
So do all men agree with that? That are commenting, do you agree with that? Let us know.
Yeah, we'd like to do that.
I just want to know.
As we look at some of the headlines this morning, and let's be honest about this, I don't think this is any shock to anyone because we do have the weakest Republican governor the state of Mississippi has ever seen. Let's just be honest about it. The headlines this morning is Tate is trailing a Democrat already in the polls, as Presley is already leading him in the polls by 4%.
Really?
Yeah. I'm telling you, as we all said, we got a man who's in office, if we remember, didn't tell the truth. He lied to the voters, and the voters have not soon forgot that. Then you throw in the welfare scandal on top of all of this, and it just doesn't look good. When whether he says he fired him or his contract ended with that attorney, it didn't look good, and Mississippi is not reacting very well for this. And you tell me if I'm wrong on this. The only way that this is going to be saved is if, and it most likely will happen because he's challenged on the Republican side, is tons and tons of money to support him to try to get across the finish line. Will it happen?
Does he have it? Does he have that support?
I don't know.
Financial support?
I'm telling you, as I go around the area,
if it's only 4%,
and this is just now beginning.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah, but
a lot into it, yeah.
But the race is just beginning, and he's already trailing. Is what I'm worried about. Usually, it's on into the race after tons of money's been spent. There's a possibility a governor could be losing. This is out of the gate. People, and I'm telling you, I travel many places during the daytime, except yesterday, and I rarely.
But you can't go to the store.
Yeah, that was out of the. But I rarely find somebody who goes, boy, that old Tate, boy, he's doing such a wonderful job for our state. You don't hear that. Tell me if I'm wrong. Love to hear from you there.
Yeah. But first, most importantly.
What?
Lonnie says he don't get him anything.
Doesn't need
As a man,
I
wouldn't want her to get me anything for Valentine's Day. As a man, he says that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that. And what did Wally say about the ice pick there?
What is Wally saying about the ice pick? That ice pick incident is 1% incident you missed. What?
You cover 99% of all the other stories that happen there. Appreciate that.
I mean, every once in a while,
Something sneaks under the radar.
Yeah.
And I knew about the event. I just didn't know. I thought it was just a domestic fist fight is why I didn't
With
put
an
a lot.
ice pick.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear the ice pick part. I heard it was a fight and that Metro Ambulance had to show up and take somebody. I thought, well, they just had a big scrap. And I didn't put any more thought into it. Next thing you know, we got shanks and ice picks and people. Whew,
I was going to say,
Little
ice
Meridian,
pick's pretty
Mississippi.
serious. Yeah.
Scotty Ray and Debbie, y'all stay close. We'll be right back. And don't forget, this big event right here is coming up. All the ladies think it's the rage.
It's finally here, the Springtime Sweet Pea Swap, located at the old Jeffries Building at Bonita Lakes. Drop-offs February 23rd through February the 25th. Thursday, March 2nd, 5 to 9 p.m. is paid ticket holders pre-sale. Tickets are only $10 each. The public sale begins Friday, March the 3rd, 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. Saturday, March 4th, 10 to 7. Sunday, 25% off, 1 to 6 p.m. And Monday, March the 6th, 50% off, 10 until 7 p.m. It's the Spring Sweet Pea Swap at the old Jeffries Building by Bonita Lakes Mall. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Cuties or Halos, a 3-pound bag, $5.99. Fresh tomatoes, $1.99 a pound. Fresh cantaloupes, $2.99 each. Refreshing Coca-Cola products, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, $5.99. Brine sliced bacon, 12-ounce package, $3.79. And certified Angus beef New York strips, family pack, $11.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Before you know it, Valentine's Day will be here. Our friends at Honeysuckles on Northfield Street want you to be prepared. Pre-order now for their best selection. When it comes to a rose, Honeysuckles is using the garden-style roses for all of their Valentine's Day arrangements. The garden roses are larger and higher quality than your standard rose. Maybe you just need a gift or a spa basket for men, children, and women. Maybe a balloon bouquet or a gourmet chocolate. Pre-order now for best selection. That's Honeysuckles, 2626 Northfield Street.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Debbie. It is Tuesday, Valentine's Day.
Sandra says she's a widow now, but when her husband was alive, she never really wanted anything for Valentine's Day. She always wanted something that was out of the ordinary, just any other day, like a surprise, no reason, just unexpected. And that's nice.
And let me ask this, as a lady, is it truly, if you're in an office setting and the lady next to you gets flowers from
Yes.
her husband, is the pressure on that you should get it then? Does it make you feel a little left out?
I've never been a flower person, and Mike knows that, but I think Mike kind of always, when I worked, say like at Winstead, and I sat in the office, he always sent me flowers because I think it was
When
just
we were
that
in
kind
radio,
of-
you got 'em.
Yeah, I always got them in radio. I think it was just one of those things that you don't want to. Yeah, I mean, I personally
But like if
appreciated
the
them.
lady next to you gets it, is the pressure on of, am I going to get it then? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess. For me, I don't know about everybody else. For
Just
me,
asking there.
I'm a greedy person, Scotty.
Want it all?
It makes me sound really greedy, but I mean, I wouldn't have been heartbroken or anything because I know he loves me, but it does make you kind of think, oh, well, he's thinking about me, and then you go, why did you spend that money? No, I'm playing.
I bring this next story up because I've read this story twice. It was an Arkansas resident that made a threat in Oxford, Mississippi,
Please put
to
the
a
picture
school.
up.
And in 3 other articles, they refer to this person as a woman. And now I go to our friends over at Dark Horse Press in Jackson, and they did the right thing. They just didn't say either way. But let me pull up the picture from Dark Horse Press. Now, again, remember, in every other news story that I've read, they refer to this person as a lady. Y'all, yeah,
I'm ready.
beware. Here we go.
I'm a lady.
So,
My name is
going back to Saturday Night Live, is Pat, is that a guy?
Pat. Look more like a lady than.
I mean, the lady's got a beard.
No, that's not a lady.
Okay, but in
I mean, I don't know that a woman can actually grow a beard like that, can they?
maybe he was
I mean,
identifying
you can grow a little
himself as
mustache
a
and you can
woman
grow a little
that
chin.
day.
Huh?
You think he was identifying as a woman that day when he made that threat against the school?
I have no clue.
Wow. I mean, you know that old saying of a face only a mama could love? I'm going to leave it at that.
Was he on something?
I don't know. It didn't say, but they made that big threat there, and they came with the handcuffs and said, "Come on with us. You're going to Oxford. You got to stand trial now." Also, we had a teenager also do that in South Haven, in just right outside of Memphis. Made a threat to a Mississippi school. I'm telling you, technology nowadays, you cannot do that. They've tracked it down and they've made an arrest. Mm-hmm. He will go to juvenile court now. And this really messes up your life. Y'all think before you do this. If you've got somebody that wants to play a joke, this is not a joke.
It is not. And it stays with you for the rest of your life.
But,
like you said, technology, I've been really into that Murdaugh trial.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions? I got all the answers.
That time.
I watch it. I am so into it. But technology, even though this guy was a very smart attorney, I don't think he knew the depth of technology.
He probably didn't. Do you honestly back up away from the situation, what you've seen, you've heard in trial so far, think that it is possible that he could take the life of his wife and his son?
I think so. But do I think he's going to be found guilty? Maybe not, because the prosecution... The state, I think they botched the whole investigation in the beginning because I think maybe he was in their pocket a little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's what I think. And then when they realized, we got a problem here, that's when the investigation really started and a lot of the evidence was gone.
And it was too late then.
It was too late. That's my take on it so far, and I have watched every ounce of the trial.
So we'll see what happens in the end with that.
But, I don't know. It depends. If one juror decides, and now yesterday they had two of the jurors had COVID, and they lost two jurors. Ooh. So now they're down. I want to say they're down to only one more alternate. And so they were trying to do a mistrial yesterday, the defense.
Of course you would.
Anything to stall it. But it's a pretty juicy little trial. And do I think he did it? I think he was... Yeah, I think he meant to kill his son. I mean, his wife and his son.
Accidentally, maybe was
there or something. I don't know what happened right there, but I don't really think he meant to kill his son much as he meant to kill his wife.
I sit here and I take a deep breath on that, and I think, what could possibly make you want to take the life of your spouse and your children? That is just beyond my thinking. As we look at another big story that has affected our area, Louisville, Mississippi, it all started a few weeks ago with the death of a young man. He came up missing, and then he was found deceased by the railroad tracks. And then the shooting that happened this weekend. Did you realize that one of the 6 people, now we have one person who has died from the wounds at that convenience store where the shootout happened in Louisville. It was a 62-year-old man that just happened to be in the store. He was life-flighted to a hospital. He's still doing, we don't know much other than he's alive, but he was one of the ones that was life-flighted. 62 years old, probably just stopped to get a drink. And you get caught in crossfire.
Yeah. So what about the other people that were shot?
We know nothing
I
really.
Wish I knew how that, because I've heard different stories. I've heard somebody was shooting and hit a car with people in it. The guy shot back.
And it's not a lot of details released
fire
on it yet, but we do hope to find out more of that and get the nitty-gritty of this. But the sad part is, each one of these shootings that we're seeing in all of these Mississippi towns are very, very young people, anywhere from the age of 14, sometimes even younger, up to roughly 24, 25 years old is the average shoot 'em up, I don't care what's going to happen. They shoot before they think.
Yeah.
And it's just sad.
It's amazing to me where we've come in a society where
it's okay like to do that they think that.
Like they don't think, well, I don't know. Do they just think that there's not going to be repercussions and they're going to just walk free after this, that it's that cool? Or
is it the video games that do it to where you get up and walk away from a video game after?
Exactly. Who knows?
In real life, you don't. Yeah. It's all over. So that's something that we're watching. We hope to get more details on that as this comes about. Already 7:29 as I get my time straight with Scotty Ray and Debbie. We're going to be right back. We're going to peel back a few years and go into this day in history and see how good you are. Remembered a few things.
Okay.
If you're building or remodeling your home and finally getting around to that to-do list, before you spend your hard-earned money anywhere else, do yourself and your pocketbook a favor and check out the huge selection available at Southern Pipe and Supply. They have a large showroom on Highway 39 North in Meridian. You can check out the large selection of tubs, showers, sinks, and faucets. Southern Pipe for all of your heating and air conditioning system upgrades, along with standby generators in preparation for storm season. And we're local, Southern Pipe and Supply.
Need an expert to repair a rock peck or cracked windshield? Call Advanced Auto Glass by Joey for quality workmanship and customer service. Convenient same-day service, as well as in-house calibration for vehicle safety systems. Reliable mobile service is available in Clark, Kemper, Neshoba, Lauderdale, and Newton counties for all cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. Book your appointment today for custom tinting. It can reduce temps, fading, glare, and more. Improve the safety and enhance the appearance of your vehicle today with services from Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Spring is right around the corner, and Wilson Saw on Highway 19 North invites you by to get your equipment ready. For the do-it-yourselfer, they have all the filters and oil you'll need. Does your X-Mark need a tune-up or maybe a new set of blades? Let the professional sharpen your steel chainsaw or replace the plug. And they can get your steel weed eater running like tip-top for the spring. Whatever your need is, Wilson Saw and Outdoor Power will have you ready for spring. 71 Highway 19 North, 601-693-4100. And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Debbie. As we look back on this date, we'll have some special guests tomorrow coming in from the equipment area. Our Chusa, big event coming up. If you're a reenactor and like those types of things, it's going to be happening this weekend in equipment at our Chusa, the Battle for the Texas Hospital. Pretty neat thing.
Yeah, for the Texas Hospital.
Yeah. There's a lot of Texas regiments. We'll get all the story tomorrow about it. And
have you been to the Alamo?
I passed in front of it. I didn't go inside.
It's small.
It is.
It's not what you think.
No, it's not. Way back, as we turn back the pages of history, we go back to 1863 on this date, Meridian. There was a telegram that was sent that said Meridian no longer exists. It was sent by a yellow-bellied dog. That's the best way I know how to say it. And it come from this man right here, Sherman. He had burned Meridian and sent messages to Grant that we no longer existed in Meridian. And from here, he would travel east through Georgia and, well, finish tearing up the rest of the South. So, but he passed away on this date in 1891.
How much of Meridian was burned?
Most of it. All the train tracks were torn, burned. There was a little bit of downtown Meridian that was left, not much. And then what didn't get hurt there got hurt in 1906 with the tornado.
So that's a good thing. I saw where they rescheduled the history walk.
Yes, that's coming up.
Talk about that.
The 25th. Yes.
Not that I didn't try to segue into that. It was just
kind of
natural. But that's on the 25th. But I am curious to know, what is the oldest standing building downtown?
That is a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Would it be the Opera House of 1890? Marx Rothenberg.
It didn't get burned in the 1890.
It wasn't built yet.
Oh, it wasn't built yet. Okay.
But because we've had so many others here lately that have just been going flop.
I'm gonna try to go. So
that's interesting.
Maybe I'll report back on Monday to tell you.
Well, you know, Ward Calhoun's grandfather built a lot. Great built a lot of that. We need to ask him that. He probably knows which one it is. But Sherman was the dirty dog that burned Meridian on today in 1863, if you wanted to know. It would be 1921, and I remember this because it was such a part of all of our childhood because, well, you had 3 channels. And if you didn't want to watch 2020, it was just too bad because that was your only choice as Hugh Downs. Who remembers him?
I do, and I always thought that Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters were a thing. Did you?
Yes, I did.
Why did we think that?
Well, they were together all the time.
I just thought they were... That was they were married or whatever.
Sure did.
I look at his cheeks.
Few downs, but boy, how times have changed. You left Love All Over Me was one of the big hits. The Midnight Holler is hauling a load. Who am I talking about? Razzie Bailey was born on this date, and I remember the first time I heard this, it was all Ken Rainey's fault. He introduced me to this fella here, and Razzie Bailey. Now I see you're not impressed by this.
I don't know him.
You don't. The Midnight Holler is hauling a load. You left Love All Over Me? No, it was
Midnight Holler.
Midnight Holler? Hauler, like 18-wheeler.
Not H-O-L-L.
The Midnight Hauler.
No, I don't know it.
Oh, golly. It was good. Razzie Bailey, not too long ago, somebody sent me a picture of one of his old tour. He's passed away now, but sent me a picture of his tour bus.
Hey, somebody said they think Mary Hope might be the oldest building.
It's possible. But remember, Mary Hope did not look like it does now. It was a little bitty house then, and then they added on to it.
And the F.W. Williams is right behind it.
Yeah, sure is, which used to be on 8th Street where Sonic is. Do you know that?
I did because we stayed there one time.
They just jacked it up, put blocks under it.
It's got an elevator.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful wood in it. 1955. Now, later on, Charlie Pride would re-record this, but it would be 1955 that George Jones would bust onto the scene with a song called Why Baby, Why Baby,
I do know
Why.
that one. I know that one.
Peaked at number 4, The Possum.
Not to brag, but I did get to bring him on stage at the Silver Star Resort
did?
and Casino, and he was shorter than me. And Scotty Ray, remember when I said when we shook hands or whatever, and his little hand, they were just so soft.
George.
They had never. He might have just ridden his lawnmower drunk one time, but he never did any yard work. I can tell you that.
George didn't have to. It truly, and we're not making fun of George. It was just a fact. George's hands were soft as a baby's bottom.
Yeah.
Because he had somebody to do everything.
And then when we were going to the CMAs one year, we stopped at George Jones' house.
Whoops.
And went up to the gate because, it's right outside of Nashville in Franklin Triune area.
Yeah.
And so we pulled up.
It was only 50 miles out of the way.
It was not. It was like 5 miles out of the way. Anyway, we pulled up and got up to the gate and actually talked to somebody and they made us leave.
They said, "Yeah, he ain't coming out to see you."
No. So
1971.
He was there, though. He was there. They just weren't going to let us.
George didn't want to come. He was busy getting somebody to get him a drink.
He's got rocking chairs all over his gate. Remember?
Sure did. 1971, they thought it was a good idea up until a few years later they realized, boy, that was really a dumb mistake we done. It was 71 that they installed all the taping systems in the White House. Rump row.
Boy,
you want to talk about something comes back and bites you? Rump. 1971, this
watched
debuted.
It every year it came on.
It did, and it was such a great show. Anybody remember watching this? Ben-Hur. Debuted on TV.
Left out the Ben-Hur part. You left out the Hur
You knew
part.
what I meant.
Ben was a whole different story.
Ben, the two of us.
Was about a mouse.
It was.
Ben-Hur, I used to watch that because then you just watch the same movies over and over again. You knew them.
And do y'all remember, honestly, like if a movie came out at the theaters, it would be 4 or 5 years before it ever made it to television?
I think longer than that, honestly.
It was a long time, wasn't it?
It was a long time. And then if it came on, it was like your mom would say, "Hey, Ben-Hur's coming on tonight," and everybody would come and gather up, and we'd all watch Ben-Hur. Or whatever the movie was.
1979, the way this song starts, you won't forget it, and you won't forget the movie. Anybody remember this? Girl, you turn me every which way but loose. I love that. Clint Eastwood, and another one of those big movies, and of course, Eddie Rabbitt went number 1 with this song on this date back in 79. Eddie Rabbitt was ahead of his time, so to speak, with those solid gold dancers on Saturday night that made everybody mad in country music.
I forgot about that.
That were like, Eddie Rabbitt's on solid gold. Yeah. Has he lost his mind?
Eddie Rabbitt. But he kind of went mainstream. He wasn't just.
Yeah, he crossed
over.
And what got him started? He wrote a little song for Elvis Presley, and that really got him.
Which one was it?
No, that was Mac Davis, wasn't it? Don't Cry Daddy. That was Mac Davis, I think. I have to go back and look, but it was.
I've never heard that Eddie Rabbitt wrote a song for Elvis.
It was.
Okay, look it up.
Promise y'all.
You've got Google.
I could not watch this. It was 1991, and it gave me the heebie-jeebies. And I use that word loosely.
Still gives you the heebie-jeebies.
To this moment, I can think about it and go, ooh.
The fact that was 30 years, how many years ago?
That would be 31 years.
32 years ago. What?
31, because it's 90 would be 32.
This is 23.
Huh?
You said 91.
Well, I got married in 1990. I've been married 32 years this year.
Yeah, but...
Oh, no, 33.
I was going to say, that doesn't add up.
Oh, yeah, that's 30. You're right.
I knew I was. We just had to get to we had to go through your...
Process in my head.
Of realizing that I am right. But I can't believe that's 32 years old.
There it is. There's the answer.
He wrote Kentucky Way.
He did. Eddie Rabbitt wrote that for Elvis. And I knew it was
one of the biggest, most beautiful songs.
Thanks, Britt, and thanks, Don. I appreciate y'all answering that.
But I've got to go back to the Silence of the Lamb.
All right, we're back.
Will you put the picture back up? Anybody that's watching the Murdaugh trial, if they saw the CFO, anybody that is interested, look it up. The CFO that testified against him, that was the CFO of the law firm that they all worked for, looks just like her.
You want me to show the picture?
Yeah.
There she is.
Looks just like, yes.
That's Jodie Foster, isn't it?
That's Jodie Foster. And I'm telling you, that woman, She was the best witness they've had so far.
That's scary. Silence of the Lambs. And you know what is bad? There's people out there really like that. That is what makes that give me the heebie-jeebies, because there really are people like
Jeffrey
that.
Dahmer.
Yeah. Don't think they don't exist.
Not that woman, but
just in general. There's some
Anthony
bad
Hopkins.
folks. 1992, it did bring a laugh to us.
Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
It was released.
It did. I loved Wayne's World.
And they drove that little AMC car that John Denver drove, and oh, God.
They started on Saturday Night Live.
Is that where it all started?
Yeah.
It was funny. I'll give them credit on that.
Every time I see Dana Carvey, that's his name, right? Dana Carvey?
Right.
Every time I see him, I always think that's what I look like when I'm on TV.
Didn't we?
Every time. If somebody takes a picture.
It's the glasses, Debbie.
It's the glasses. And every time somebody sends me a picture and says, "Oh, I saw you today," I think, "Oh,
you think that?
Gosh, I look just like Dana Carvey."
Am I right? Dana Carvey, is he the guy that was in Tommy Boy that rode along with him in the convertible to all the places trying to sell the brake parts?
Dana Carvey?
Is that who Dana Carvey is?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? No, that's Spade. That's David
Spade.
Yeah. Whoops.
Dana Carvey was huge on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. I missed that whole.
It was a good time. Anyway.
Missed that. After Dan Aykroyd and them left, I quit watching Saturday Night Live. That was really funny, and Three Wild and Crazy Guys.
You're right. Ronnie Millsap does play.
Did a version.
Yeah.
Kentucky Rain. Kentucky Rain.
Anybody that does Kentucky Rain is good in my book.
That was.
It's a beautiful song.
Met a preacher man who asked.
Scotty failed math. Sounds like wife going to put Scotty Ray on couch.
I did. That was really my most
Not only did she
horrible-
not get a Valentine because he couldn't drive out of the house. I don't know.
Oh, it was bad.
And now he thinks he's been married 32 years instead of a solid 33.
Well, it's coming up. November will be 33 years. Man, what was I thinking? That's been a long time ago.
Mine is 30.
You're tapping
38 years.
Whew, how time flies.
No, it can't be 38 years.
You were born. You got married in '86.
Yeah. So what's up?
So 4 more than me. So that would be 39.
37.
37. Yeah. There we go. Now we've done our arithmetic class today.
It's really hard to keep up with.
It is.
When it's that odd, I should have gotten married on a 80 or a 90 or like my birthday is easy because it's 61, so I just got that one to deal with.
Yeah.
86 kind of throws you a little bit.
You got to go 6.
You got to start doing some math.
Scotty Ray and Debbie, we hope we're bringing a smile to your face today as we begin this Valentine's Day. Don't forget it. It's still not too late. I keep telling myself that. We'll be right back with more.
Your next Maytag or Whirlpool appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigeration on Highway 19 North. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, stop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers, a showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen and Amana. And delivery is available with a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and by appointment after hours and weekends.
Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 invites you by to take a look at a brand new product they've got. Odes, ATVs, and UTVs. These side-by-sides range from 800 to 1,000 cc's, and they come with heat or air. Whether you're doing work around the farm or hunting, they've got the unit just for you to keep warm or cool, depending upon that Mississippi and Alabama day. Swing by for a test drive today at Freeman Tractor. See coleslaw, buttermilk, and don't forget you can meet their newest employee, Eggplant. That's Freeman Tractor, Highway 494.
Have you been hurt on the job? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Know your rights when it comes to the workplace injuries. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, daybeds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
As we turn to our friends over at Snowden and Company, they're all ready today for Valentine's Day. Maybe you need a house. They can fix you up with that. If you're looking for a home, visit them, snowdenrealestate.com. You can browse through this and take a look. You don't have to bother anybody. Just kind of look through it. And when you find the home you want, or one that you're interested in, talk to them. They'll take you there, show it to you in person. Always looks a little different in person. See them today. They'll do that. And they'll be there through 5 o'clock today. They're closed on Saturday and closed on Sunday, but by appointment on Saturday also. From Clark, Kemper, and Neshoba, all the way out to Dalewood, to Enterprise. You can go to West Lauderdale. You name it, they can fix you up with it. Brandon, Flowood, been added to that as well. See the many homes that they have to offer. Here's one in West Lauderdale, and a lot more have been added over the last few days. See them at Snowden & Company Real Estate. You'll be glad you did. Drop in and see Amanda. That's her and her entire staff. They're willing to work with you any way they can. 601-453-3937 is telephone number to call them, and they'll fix you up.
Hey, we've got a lot of folks that are saying Happy Valentine's Day to their loved ones, but some, let's see, I always thought that Wally, are you a male or a female? Not that I, but I thought that was a woman, but she said Bill and I are celebrating our how many?
So, that'd be Wally, Miss
50th
Wally.
anniversary. They got married at 16 and 18, and it has lasted.
Boy, that's a long time.
Did you know that Eddie Rabbitt wrote Patch It Up?
I did not. I don't know that song, as a matter of fact. That's a new one to me.
Why'd you get rid of my comments?
Well, I can put those back for you there. Let's just put that back there where you can read.
I was into it. Happy Valentine's Day from Arkansas.
Big deal. Big deal.
I also saw a big Happy Valentine's Day from Enterprise. Thanks, Dana.
Sad news is we look over to Clinton, Mississippi. A business is leaving the state of Mississippi. Well, sort of, but sort of not. They're closing one of their locations. Milwaukee Tool is closing down the location in Clinton, but they've got several other locations in the state of Mississippi, and we'll spread that out. There's going to be a few people affected by that, and hopefully they'll be offered a job at one of the other locations.
So Milwaukee Tool is not specific to Lowe's, right?
No, it's
that's everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, good tool too.
Kind of like, what was the Sears?
Craftsman. One of the best there ever was.
That's only Sears, right?
It was.
Boy, I miss
They
that
sold
store.
it though. When Sears started going down the drain, they sold it, and now I have no idea how to get my lifetime warranty on my tools.
So is it all the tools have a lifetime warranty?
Yes, if it's a Craftsman. If you bought the Envoy, the ENVOY, you had to have your receipt, and then they had some cheaper ones that had no warranty whatsoever. But if it's a
solid Craftsman,
it's guaranteed for a lifetime. Somewhere, I just don't know where. I got a box full that's broke. Don't know where to take it.
Do you have to have a receipt?
Nope. But what good is it doing me because they went out of business?
I really miss
And I don't know if Lowe's will make them good or not.
Do they sell Craftsman?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they will.
Yeah, I need to call and ask.
Or just look up the number.
Ace also carries Craftsman, as Chris Branning pointed out.
There you go.
Everybody carries it now. It's just who will make it good.
Yeah.
Because, when I started out, I was probably 12 or 13 years old mowing grass, and I started buying tools because I needed them. And I've built up all that blob down there now.
I've got my own toolbox because I do like small home repairs. I'm really into it.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I really do. I love doing stuff like that when I have time. So I've over time collected my tools, and then Mike got me a toolbox, and now I've just got all of it going on. I even have a saw.
Nationwide, Debbie, marriages are down, but in the state of Mississippi, they are up, believe it or not, as we look at this. Some of the statistics that are out there.
It's so hard to get out of one. I'm joking. That was a joke. That was a joke.
It's up 7% of the state of Mississippi. But why are marriages down? Because less people are getting married. At the end of the day, that's
that's true.
That's why
they're
so
waiting
few
a lot
are.
longer too.
Yeah, like 50 as we see here.
Some people they wait a long time, and I do think it is hard in Mississippi. Something about Mississippi. I don't know what it is.
So who do you think?
Any friends that I've had that got a divorce said it was really hard.
Who would you say is the state that has the most divorces out of the United States?
Nevada.
No, believe it or not. No, wrong. Arkansas tied with West Virginia and Maine. Maine, you never hear those folks up there, but they're getting divorces.
Wow.
But West Virginia and Arkansas, I understand Arkansas. The highest percentage of marriages, and I can see this, Utah, the state of Utah. Because they marry like 5 people at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Utah's beautiful. Have you been?
Yeah, years ago. Isn't that where the salt mines are in Utah?
Yeah, there's some parts of it, but Utah has a lot to offer. Utah, Idaho, all those areas, just absolutely gorgeous.
Tell me if this number is, we look at statistics of marriage and think 33% of Americans have never married. Is that high? That seems kind of high.
That does seem high.
It does. That's a third. Wow. But there are some folks that just don't want to worry with somebody else. But it's great. You should try it sometime.
I like this one. Men who earn over $100,000 a year are most likely to be married. Duh.
Yeah, they're getting chased.
They didn't have a choice. Somebody snagged them. Women who earn $75,000 to $100,000 a year have the highest divorce rate.
Because they're, you want to go ahead and say it? Should I just go ahead and say it out loud?
You say it out loud.
Yeah, I'll say it out loud because they want to be in charge. And when a man tries to tell her what to do, she's like,
true.
I'm in charge. I make my own money.
I don't think that's true.
Well, what do you think?
They just have an easier out. I think a lot of times, they're very bossy. They have an easier out. You know, you think about it when a woman, especially if you have to take the time off to raise your children and things like that, it's hard.
I didn't say it wasn't now.
Okay, we're not going to go into that conversation.
That's very hard. But I just think one that makes that has an end, who can make it her own, might not take as much as somebody.
Well, right. I mean, so therefore, a lot of women, I would guess, or men, may stay in their marriage because of financial situation.
Could be.
So yeah, the more you make, I guess, the easier it is to bail.
It may be.
Unless somebody's trying to take your money.
Ooh,
then
shame,
you don't
shame.
bail.
Alicia Shelton, good morning and happy birthday. I hope it is all there for you there.
There you go. Google has complete info on how to replace your tools.
I need to do that.
Google how to replace your tools.
Scotty Ray and Debbie, good morning to you. It's Valentine's Day. We'll be right back with more entertainment. Trust me, it really is entertainment.
I'm Chris Bullock, and I'm a candidate for Lauderdale County District 1 Supervisor. One of the reasons I'm running is I absolutely love this community and care about our people. I have the experience and leadership skills necessary to provide a professional service to every resident. I have a record of serving this community since I was 15 years old. It's time for fresh ideas under a new generation of leadership. I ask for your prayers, and I ask for your support.
Paid Political by friends of Chris Bullock.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install, or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, makes a difference.
Chet's Paint and Body is there for you in case a deer has done a little rain dance on top of your hood or maybe down the side of your car. Really messed up the paint job. They'll fix it for you at Chet's Paint and Body, whether it's a deer, maybe it's just a post that you might have bumped into while pumping gas. Maybe somebody ran a red light. It all happens there, and Chet will put it back to the way it used to be and color match it. If you don't believe me, ask around. It is one of the most common knowledge things. A great name. Most people have been there once or twice in their life. A great name to follow. 737-2961 is the number to call. Chet will walk you through it. They'll get your insurance all lined up for you and get your rental car lined up so you can drive home. See them today at Chet's Paint and Body, no matter what the need is, from deer to post to other people bumping into your cars. They help you out.
That's right. Hey, happy birthday to Alicia Shelton. Big old happy birthday to you. Somebody said, come on, Scotty. You know marriage is 50-50 always.
Oh, it is. It is always. 50-50. It just leans 70% her way most of the time.
It's just, and you've been in a long-term marriage. I've been in a long marriage. It's just ebbs and flows.
Yeah. You
got to go with the flow sometimes.
You're going to be wrong. She's going to be wrong.
There's no way you can live with somebody that long and not have some, arguments or things like that. You just got to work them out.
Sad news is we start looking at a few of the headlines from across of America as we see that 8 people were injured yesterday, mowed down by a U-Haul in New York City. Now, this is not the first time
that was
this
actually
has
in
happened.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
in Brooklyn, yeah.
But just, and the very first person, they've got video of this, the guy was riding a little moped, and he just directly runs over him on purpose.
I was Scotty Ray mentioned this to me yesterday after we got off the air, and I said one time Katie and I were in New York City, and we were about to do a crosswalk. It was a real busy section, maybe closer to Times Square, and a motorcycle gang came through, like a bad one, like they were protesting something, and it was hundreds of them, and it was terrifying because it felt like we were all about to get hit. And everybody was kind of scattering. It was really scary.
Give you the willies there on that, too?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't do anything, but it was just...
It's like those tumbleweeds you see in those movies that they ride into town and it's bad news.
Yeah.
We also see that at Michigan State University last night, 3 people were murdered. Then the gunman took the gun to himself. Michigan State, what a sad loss.
I was following that last night. It was really, they put out an alert to take cover. What is it? The rules of when there's an active shooter? Hide.
Well, I don't know this.
Run, hide, protect. If there's if they're on you and doing something, then just fight. Go into fight mode.
Do what you have to.
Yeah, they sent it out and shut down the school, and I think they're not going to do anything for 48 hours just to be on the safe side.
And that's good there. Ohio residents, and I don't know enough about this yet, but this train derailment where this toxic chemical that's been released on this town, who knows what's going to happen to these people for the rest of their lives.
Right, and now they're saying it's in the water stream.
Yeah.
So what they did was they did what they called a controlled burn, and it was vinyl chloride or something like that, and now it has filtered down into the water system, and they're kind of trying to keep media out of there.
Ooh.
So it's a real, and people are reporting like 3 hours away of this toxic cloud sitting over their house, things like that.
And a lot of people saying, why don't marriages last, has to do with not having God in your marriage. There's a lot of that, and there's a lot of truth to that, folks.
Arguments in marriage starts when you tell her she is wrong. That's so true.
She just can't handle it.
She really can't. I don't know about everybody, but...
Brings out the ice pick in her.
I'm tough. Oh, somebody said balloon rides are canceled until further notice.
Yes,
you know
they
what
are.
that's from.
We want to say thank y'all for coming by. This has been such a wonderful time. It's Valentine's Day. Remember what it's all about. Give somebody a hug today. Ask somebody to be your Valentine. I hope it all works out. We're coming back tomorrow morning.
And we are eating your cookies, Maddie.
Yes.
Thank you.
Such great stuff there.
Even though they weren't mine.
I'm sharing.
I'm sure.
We'll see you back tomorrow morning. Thank you and God bless. And thanks for being a part of the show with me and Debbie. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: